Good afternoon. Today I am going to correct and improve the student's answer to an IELTS Task 2 writing question. You can see the question and the student's answer printed below. Areas I have highlighted I am going to change or correct, and if there are any words I use you don't understand, you can click on transcript on YouTube and see the written form of my talk. This essay unfortunately has a lot of problems because the student, even though he has used good ideas to answer the question, they are not very clearly explained, so a lot of the points are difficult to understand. Anyway, let's begin with paragraph 1. I will reread the sentence including my changes, and the student should then rewrite this part of the essay, making sure he understands the changes and what he has done wrong. So let's begin with demographic growth and the substantial rise in consumption. People have begun to produce more and more waste material. Indeed, nowadays the rubbish disposal centres are overused and have great difficulty dealing with the incredible amount of waste. You will notice I have added some words there to improve the description and also changed some parts. Next paragraph, number 2. Here the student has used the word consumption again. Better to try to think of different words to use. So let's begin. This massive growth in the consumer society has resulted in an enormous rise in the production of waste material. Can't use stimulates in that sentence. Stimulate is usually used in a positive way, so result in is okay, or you could say have a negative side effect. The next sentence, beginning with plastic bags, is not clear. The student's point here is that people do not try to reuse their plastic bags. They just throw them away, then get another one when they go to the supermarket. But he has not explained this point clearly. And in addition, this is a different point from the idea in the first sentence, which is talking about the rise in the production of waste. So we need to change the sentence. Here we go. This problem is exacerbated because people are not careful in their use of these products. For example, they forget to reuse plastic bags they have received at the supermarket and just get new ones when they next go shopping. So I have had to totally change that sentence. Let me just look at some of the mistakes the student has made in that sentence. Most of the time, no S, these bags, at home or thrown away. But as I said, the sentence is not good because it is not clearly explaining the student's point. Going on to the next sentence, we can make this sentence longer. Another reason for the explosion in the amount of waste is that people often buy more than is necessary. So I have just added more information to make that a better sentence. The next sentence about the expiry of food. Again, this sentence is not clear. What the student is saying, I think, is that people are wasteful in their consumption of food. They often just throw food away because maybe it is near the expiry date, or maybe they are just bored with it. Some mistakes in that sentence: throw away food which has expired rather than to have an empty fridge. But I don't understand that last point about having an empty fridge. It doesn't really seem relevant to the rest of the idea. So let's do this sentence again. Furthermore, people are often very wasteful when it comes to food, comma. They are easily bored and may throw food away before its expiry date. And we can often see substantial leftovers after every meal, which may be given to the dog or may just be put in the bin. Next sentence, beginning finally. Again, the idea is not clear. Just correct. Used to throwing away broken or old things, despite the fact that they could be repaired. But I think I need to rewrite this whole sentence. So finally, people nowadays don't seem to want to repair stuff. Comma after stuff. They quickly throw away things, even though they could be repaired or are still functional, comma. In pursuit of fashion, for example, clothes may be disposed of while they still look new, full stop. Last sentence, no of here, just most kids. Most kids want only new toys and don't want to play with the old boring ones. I have added boring there to make that slightly more interesting sentence. On to paragraph 3. But is not a good way to start a sentence. Best to use words like nevertheless, however, despite that. Setup is not clear. We don't set up a solution, we create or make. So let's rewrite this sentence. Despite these problems, there are some possible solutions that can alleviate the situation. Next sentence, we can't use sensitized. The student should say something like make people more aware or more sensitive. So let's rewrite this sentence. In the long term, one of them is to make young people more aware about the waste issue. Next sentence, we can't say decide to put some ecological courses. We could say incorporate some environmental courses, and people will feel, should say something like people will become more responsible. So let's rewrite this sentence. If governments, comma, for example, comma, decided to incorporate some environmental courses at school, the children will learn about responsibility and hopefully behave in a better way. Next sentence, secondly, we can't say since the different meetings. We could say as a result of different meetings. And sort is the wrong word. I think the student here means recycling. And put a tax policy, again, that's not clear. I think the student means to tax people or fine people who do not recycle their waste. So let's rewrite this whole sentence. Secondly, as a result of various meetings between countries to discuss the environment problem, some governments have decided to impose a recycling system which each citizen is expected to follow, period. If they do not do this, the government may tax them or penalize them in some way. Last paragraph, number 4. To conclude, although some governments try to... No, I think that should be present continuous. Let's change that. Although some governments are trying to deal with the environmental issue, the solutions won't really be effective until people become aware of the urgency of the situation and change their behavior. React is not a good word there, better to say respond. And efficient is not great either, better to say effective. Okay, let me remind the student to rewrite the parts I have changed, and if I can give some words of encouragement. Although there are lots of mistakes in this essay, the ideas are very good. The problem is in their expression. So the student needs to try to improve the way he expresses his ideas. Thank you for listening. Bye for now.